For more is Dan Niles, founder and portfolio manager at Niles Investment Management. Dan, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Mike.
So, semis, obviously, it's been kind of the lifeblood of this bull market leadership for 3 years. It's changed. I guess we got to be specific in terms of which chip stocks or themes we're talking about. But how are you viewing this latest burst of enthusiasm for custom chips and some of these other kind of subsectors?
Well, I think if you step back and you think about what's gone on with chips, the first really 3 years since ChatGPT showed up at the end of 2022, it's been all about training and then about inference this last year. What you're seeing this year, though, with OpenClaw being the big, event at the end of January, is that you move to this age of agentic AI. And so what you've seen with tokens production is it's gone from growing about 20% over the last couple of months before OpenClaw at the end of January to now it's up over 130%. And so this lull I think you've seen in chip stocks, I think you're going to see them get a lot stronger. You're going to have to be selective, but I think you're going to see them get a lot stronger as you go through the rest of this year because of that move to agentic and the massive increase in compute that takes.
In that context, you mentioned we kind of transitioned away from the GPU training focus we were in for so long. Does it make sense to you? Does the market have it right that Nvidia has been just kind of sideways for the better part of a year?
Yeah, the market did have it right. But what should encourage people if you own Nvidia is the fact that today you had an event that could have easily knocked Nvidia down, which is Broadcom had that big deal between Anthropic, Google, and themselves. The stock was up 6%, but Nvidia closed the day up. So I think from a short-term perspective, you see these digestion phases. I've talked about Cisco in 1997 and 98, how it was down 37 to 38% intra-year, both of those years, and it finished those years up 31 and up 150%. And I think Nvidia is sort of in the same category where people have rightfully concerns because of what you're seeing in terms of the market getting more selective around the eventual winners. But this move with agentic requiring a lot more tokens means that I think Nvidia ends the year higher than where it is today, even though I think OpenAI, you're going to figure out, has a lot more problems than investors currently think.
That's interesting. Now, I was going to just ask about the companies that are kind of creating all this demand for the semis with their Capex budgets. Are you among those who feels like we're at a point where the only thing that's going to make like a Microsoft work better is if we do start getting Capex cuts, or maybe Meta, or have they gotten cheap enough on their own?
No, well, I think it depends on why you get Capex cuts. I think with Meta, if you get a Capex cut and they say, hey, we're cutting back on all these science projects we have going, or Reality Labs, I think people will like that because if you look at this most recent quarter that they reported, they were the only ones that had a really strong return on investment, meaning that the Capex went up a lot, but the stock, I think the next day was up 10% or so, reaction to earnings because the revenues got revised higher, as did the earnings. So I think with Meta, that would be taken positively. If you get a Capex cut at one of the big cloud providers, so Amazon Web Services, Google, or Azure, I think that's a different problem because investors are giving these companies the multiples they have because they're viewing all of them as winners. And I don't think that's why I'm saying you're going to have to get more selective. I mean, and you're seeing it with Anthropic coming out and saying, hey, we're raising prices. And at the same time, OpenAI is coming out and saying, well, we're having to cut prices because now, to me at least, it looks like Anthropic's got faster or higher run rate revenues at around 30 billion versus OpenAI's last estimate of around 24. And obviously, OpenAI started this back in the end of 2022 with ChatGPT.
Nvidia has down 26% from its 52-week high of 212 was under 17 and 5.76% so far this year. The one-year return is still 59.59%, despite a 3.68% retreat over the last month and a further 1.64% fall during the last week. With revenue of $68.13 billion, up 73.2% year over year, and non-GAAP EPS of $1.62 compared to a $1.52 projection, a 6.58% beat, The fourth quarter results highlight the company's strength. Data center networking increased 263% to $10.98 billion, while data center revenue reached $62.31 billion, up 75% over the previous year. Revenue for the entire fiscal year 2026 was $215.94 billion, up 65.47%, with $96.58 billion in free cash flow. Bulls see a route to $272 and higher. The desire for agentic AI and the Blackwell architecture ramp are the foundation of the bull case. Revenue of roughly $78.0 billion is projected in Q1 FY 2027 forecast, not including any compute contribution from China data centers. Nvidia anticipates at least $1 trillion in orders for Blackwell and Vera Rubin through 2027, according to CEO Jensen Huang at GTC 2026. The 263% year-over-year growth in data center networking indicates full-stack platform stickiness, which increases the cost of customer switching. Strategic demand is tangible. OpenAI is constructing more than 10 gigawatts of Nvidia systems. CoreWeave is aiming for more than 5 gigawatts of AI factories by 2030, and Meta Platforms has committed to purchasing millions of Blackwell and Rubin GPUs. The non-GAAP gross margin increased to 75.2% in Q4 FY 2026 from 71.3% in Q1. Institutional conviction is reflected in the analyst average goal of 268.22, which is supported by 60 buy-rated analysts and just one sell. By April 2027, our bull case predicts 272,113. Geopolitical risk and concentration are at the heart of the bear case. The China data center compute contribution, which Huang anticipated to be worth about $50 billion, is zero in the Q1 FY 2027 guidance. Nvidia lost an anticipated $8 billion in H20 orders in Q2 of FY 2026, after absorbing a $4.5 billion H20 penalty in Q1. With $95.2 billion in total supply-related obligations, there is execution risk in the event that demand declines. Large cloud providers account for about half of data center revenue, which makes up 91.5% of overall revenue. Nvidia would be disproportionately affected by any hyperscaler Capex slowdown. The market's overall decline is amplified by a beta of 2.375. By April 2027, our bear case predicts $189.78. The $237.71 Wall Street price objective has a 90% confidence level. It is an odd setting to be trading 26% below the 52-week high while reporting rising revenue and growing profitability. Whether funding on AI infrastructure continues until 2026 is the crucial factor. Any retreat in cloud GPU purchase or any export restrictions would be cause for concern. Investors will be keeping a tight eye on 4 straight earnings beats and Q1 FY 2027 projection of $78.0 billion. Adoption of humanoid robotics and physical AI could have positive effects, while export limitations or a persistent slowdown in AI capital spending could have negative effects. In a recent interview, Doug Clinton, CEO of Intelligent Alpha, was asked a straightforward question. Which AI firms are now the safest options for investors in public markets? He responded, I believe it's probably Nvidia and Google in the public markets. The king is still Nvidia. Whether it's Anthropic or OpenAI, they fundamentally power all of these model makers' inference. For the past 3 years, I have been watching the AI infrastructure trade almost every quarter, and Clinton's formulation gets right to the core of why Nvidia is so difficult to gamble against. Nvidia hardware is used for inference by all of the main model makers, including OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Meta. At the heart of the AI economy is a toll bridge. Clinton is supported by the numbers. Nvidia reported Q4 FY 2026 sales of $68.13 billion, up 73.2% YOY, with data center revenue of $62.31 billion, up 75% YOY. The connecting tissue of AI factories, networking revenue, increased 263% year-over-year to $10.98 billion. Nvidia's free cash flow for the entire fiscal year was $96.58 billion. With China data center computing excluded, CEO Jensen Huang's Q1 FY 2027 forecast calls for about $78 billion in sales. With 60 analyst buy ratings and an average price target of about $268, the stock is trading at a forward PE of 22x against that growth trajectory. There is presently a 63% chance that Nvidia will end 2026 as the largest corporation in the world by market capitalization, according to prediction markets on Polymarket. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. For Nvidia, this year has been difficult thus far. The stock has been stagnating for almost 8 months, despite producing record-breaking performance and an amazing prognosis. A number of factors have kept the stock range-bound rather than a single factor impeding the chipmaker. Nvidia's stock has been negatively impacted by the geopolitical environment, ongoing inflation, and concerns about the future uptake of AI. Even some seasoned investors are starting to lose faith. According to data unearthed by Goldman Sachs, hedge funds are already beginning to participate in the action, selling stocks last month at the quickest rate in 13 years. The fire sale claimed the lives of some of the largest brands in technology, such as Nvidia. Shorting U.S. exchange-traded funds, a particularly pessimistic indicator that indicates they think stock prices would decline, was another way fund managers tried to strengthen their positions. Such actions have historically been detrimental to the market. Investors in Nvidia are left wondering what to do next. Now let's get started. Up until the end of 2025, Nvidia stock had an incredible 3-year run, with a price increase of over 1,180%. It makes sense that many Nvidia investors would want to take a step back and, in a sense, take stock after a run of that size, and there are many positive aspects. The chipmaker continues to produce impressive results, which have further accelerated, despite fierce competition. Nvidia reported record sales of $68 billion for its fiscal 2026 fourth quarter, up 20% sequentially and 73% year-over-year. As a result, adjusted profits per share, EPS, increased by 82% to $1.60. Nvidia's remarkable gross margin of 71.1% drove the growing earnings. A few weeks later, Nvidia announced additional positive news during its yearly GPU Technology Conference, GTC. Executives disclosed late last year that the company had visibility into a backlog of over $500 billion for Vera Rubin and Blackwell AI chips through the end of 2026. According to CEO Jensen Huang's startling update, Nvidia will make at least $1 trillion from those AI-focused processors by 2027. Additionally, Nvidia keeps growing its empire by investing billions of dollars in businesses that give it a significant presence in the AI ecosystem. In addition to its $5 billion stake in Intel, the company currently owns $2 billion in neo-cloud providers CoreWeave and Nebius Group, optics technology firms Lumentum Holdings and Coherent, networking component provider Marvell Technology, and engineering solutions provider Synopsys. Nvidia has unprecedented control over the future course of AI thanks to these investments and the strategic alliances that accompany them. When considered separately, each of these advancements points to a promising future for Nvidia, but when combined, they depict a business at the forefront of its industry. What should investors in Nvidia do? In general, long-term investors and hedge funds play separate games. These funds' money managers use a range of extremely aggressive investment tactics, and many of them have very high portfolio turnover. Because of this, returns are erratic, and the majority of hedge fund managers are unable to outperform the market as determined by the S&P 500. However, long-term investors have an advantage over hedge funds. They are not attempting to manipulate their results in order to surpass arbitrary criteria, nor are they being evaluated based on their quarterly performance. Individual investors are released from the constraints of date-driven investing as a result. Instead of getting sucked into the momentum like lemmings racing toward an invisible precipice, investors should sit tight and weather the storm. Even if Nvidia's stock is struggling, the company is doing well both financially and operationally. Nvidia may seem pricey at 36 times earnings, but that is far less than its average multiple of 73 over the previous 3 years. The stock's attractive price is confirmed by further valuation criteria. its price earnings to growth (PEG) ratio is 0.54, which is considered an inexpensive stock if it is less than 1. Furthermore, the stock is a deal at 21 times forward earnings. It's not always a good idea to sell Nvidia stock just because fund managers are doing so. Sitting tight is the wisest course of action for investors, as the company is doing just fine. The wisest course of action is usually to do nothing and ignore the day-to-day activities of the stock market. Since the stock price will eventually rise in tandem with the business and financial performance, I think Nvidia will eventually continue its upward trend. I'm not just giving lip service here. At 15% of my portfolio as of this video, Nvidia is my largest position, and I have no intention of selling a single share. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.